Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live, and tonight we have an incredible show. We have a legendary musician that's going to be joining the room. We have Mike Jerel, and he's a singer, songwriter, pianist. He was featured on season 18 of NBC's hit show, The Voice. He was actually a four-chair turned. And if you guys know anything about The Voice, you know that sometimes when you hear a great singer, you only have like one or two judges that turn around for you. But all four judges turned around for Mike during these blind auditions, and that is such a huge accomplishment in itself. So Mike's going to join the room shortly. We're going to have a really great discussion with him, and just want to say thank you guys so much for your support. This is episode 38, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and especially with what a crazy day we've had with what happened in Georgia and then what's been happening in DC. I know the news is crazy right now, but I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, I appreciate your support. Please continue to support the musicians that I have on this show, just because they're incredible musicians. So Mike just hopped in the room. He's going to join us shortly, and really excited to have Mike. Hi guys. Hi Ken, Colette, Enrique. Hi guys. Hello. Happy New Year. Thank you guys. Thank you. So Mike, if you just request to join my live, I'll bring you on in and we will start the show. There he is. Hi, Mike.
Ashley, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How's your night going?
You know what? It's long, but we're here. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to be home in my studio, and like I said, streaming with you. This is really cool. This is really cool. Just excited to be here. I'm ready to make some noise. I'm ready to converse and talk. And so,
yeah. Yes, thank you guys. Please give a warm welcome to Mike. Like I said, season 18 of NBC's hit show, The Voice, team legend, four-chair turn. Hello.
yes.
Hello, that's amazing. So, Mike, I start every show with a song lyric, and I feel like you know this one. It's from the 1974 album by Stevie Wonder, fulfilling this first finale, You Haven't Done Nothing. So what I usually do, it's kind of weird because I don't sing, but I just say the lyric, and then we just go into it. Sound good?
Okay, so wait, hold on. Let me make sure I understand this correctly. You're gonna start the lyric, and then what? Am I gonna pick it up?
You know, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. But there was something about this song, particularly on this day of the year, and especially with everything that's happened just in the past 24 hours, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
It kind of hits a different chord.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But if you wanna sing after I speak it, I'm about it.
You know what? This is one of my most favorite songs to sing. I sang this song on the boat, and that's crazy. So, like, anyway, we'll see what happens. Go ahead and do your thing.
Okay, we're gonna rock with it. Okay.
Yes.
We are amazed, but not amused by all the things you say that you'll do. Though much concerned, but not involved with decisions that are made by you. But we are sick and tired of hearing your song, telling how you are going to change right from wrong. Because if you really want to hear our views, you haven't done nothing.
I think the second verse goes, it's not too cool to be ridiculed, but you brought this upon yourself. So much concern. Oh, no. Hold on. Because we want the truth. The world is tired and pacified. We want the truth and nothing else. And we all sick and tired of hearing your song, telling how you're gonna change right from wrong. And if you really want to hear our views, you haven't done nothing. Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, that song. Oh man, that's so true for today right now.
I
That's
know. I was reading the lyrics because I saw your performance of this song on your
Mhm.
Instagram, and it gave me chills, like
Oh wow.
chills, straight up chills. And I was like, you know what? This is a perfect song to talk about tonight. But this was before like Georgia and DC and everything that just happened in the past day. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll find a couple lyrics from this song. And then when I was reading these lyrics, and it was like, we're sick and tired of hearing your song, how you're going to change right from wrong. If you really want to hear our views, you haven't done nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we all know who we're talking about here. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty clear at this point, Ashley. Like we are all on the same page. I know a lot of us are. I don't know if we're all on the same page based on what we've seen, but a lot of us are on the same page at this point, and it is wild. I mean, it is absolutely wild. Haven't done anything. And Stevie Wonder, the words that he wrote then are so, I mean, they are still so relevant right now. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so I love that song. I love that song. Absolutely love it. I love the words. When Lewis, who was my band master, when he told me to learn it, and when I first listened to it, I was like, bro, this is too many words. As you can see, I had some word slips because it's been that long since I
no,
sang
it's
it.
okay. It's all good.
I was like, dude, this is way too many words. And after learning it, I just fell in love with it. I wanted to sing it every show, you know what I'm saying? But even more so because of the words, it was something special about those things. Stevie is just a special person in general, but that song right there, You Haven't Done Nothing, man, powerful song. Very powerful.
Powerful song.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the influence that Stevie Wonder has had on your career.
Wow. Well, Stevie Wonder has had a huge influence on my career. Actually, I grew up in the church, and I used to could not listen to anything other than gospel music. Like it was no secular music in our house whatsoever.
Mhm.
So when I got out into the world, graduated from high school, and got on my own and started paying my own bills, so to speak, I started, just kind of like listening to new music. I saw Stevie Wonder one time at a family reunion, but I never was able to just listen to his music on a regular. But once I got a hold of his songs, once I started to listen, to understand his musicality, his musicianship, and his genius, like how many songs he wrote, how many people he worked with, and just him being the amazing human being he is on top of all that stuff.
Right.
It's had such a huge impact on the way that I play, the way that I write, the way that I arrange. It's just got a lot to do with that. I actually, one of the songs that I'm gonna be singing later, one of my teen guys, he told me that the bridge, which is one of my portions of the songs that I wrote, he said that the bridge has a lot of Stevie influence. And me thinking about it, I didn't even think of it. I was like, yeah, I'm just writing what I know. But
Right.
that shows you how much influence he has. And I don't know if the listeners will hear that when I get into that part of the song. But that's just how much influence he's had. So much that I don't even know that it has an effect on my arranging, my music, my writing skills. I even did a tribute show for him, or a Stevie Wonder tribute show some years ago, at a venue in Columbus, and packed house, did all of his classics. So needless to say, Stevie Wonder is he's definitely an innovator, a savant. I mean, a prodigy. I mean, he was doing this as a kid. So, I mean, kudos to Stevie. I only hope to be a fraction of the greatness of Stevie Wonder and the impact that he's had. I only hope to be able to have that much. Just a fraction. I'll be good with just a little bit. But yeah,
But
Stevie,
you definitely are, Mike. You definitely are. Like, if you've seen Mike on The Voice, if you've seen Mike's Instagram videos, if you've seen Mike on the cruise, you know Mike gets down. Like, you do.
I'll try. I'll make some noise. I like to make noise.
And I love it because that passion that you have for the music, it just oozes right out of you. And I love when I watch musicians and they feel it in every being of their body, and that's you, and that's Stevie. So yes, you are. Oh my gosh, you are Stevie. You are.
Hey, look, I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm just gonna sit there and bask in that for a moment.
I'm sure other people have said that to you before.
You're absolutely right. People, I mean, I used to have locks, and if you followed me for long enough, you'll know that like my hair was long. If I was to wear shades and I was standing behind the piano, Stevie Wonder all day. Stevie Wonder all day. So just his influence. I think his musical influence to everybody musically. I mean, it was from talk box to clavs and all these extra instrumentations. I mean, he's just a genius. Just a genius.
He truly is. Truly is. And what do you have a favorite Stevie song? I mean, I know it's so hard to choose, but do you have one or a favorite album?
That's very difficult for me to choose from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cliche for me to say songs in the key of life. But so many of his songs are my favorite. Like even anything from Lately to Ribbon in the Sky to Master Blaster, You Haven't Done Nothing, Overjoyed. Oh my gosh, Sign Seal Delivered, Superstition, Higher Ground. I just did that song a couple of days ago. I mean, I could keep going. Like if I wanted to, I could probably do a 2.5 Stevie show. Like straight up. That's just how much of his music I enjoy, and that's just how much he has inspired me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You grew up in Asburn, Georgia, and you've been singing your entire. Tell us about the impact that your grandmother had on your musical career.
My grandmother had the most impact, I think, on my musical career because she was the first one to invest in it. As soon as she saw me the musical showing some type of interest in anything musical, she jumped on it. I felt like she knew from birth that I was going to be a special child. And I felt like when she knew that, she jumped on it. She brought me my first snare drum. We would go to the nursing homes and she would play piano. She would sing. And I would set up my drums and I would play as she sang to those that were convalescent. And it was just funny to hear her talk about how ladies there would talk about me setting up my drums. And she was just, he's so cute over there setting up his drums. And it's just the cutest thing. You know, being able to do that and travel, that was like my first experience as a gigger, as a performing musician. Like I got a chance to play and, you know, have real-time experience. My grandma would tell me to calm down, play quieter. Okay, you can bring it up. I'm singing a little louder now. Come on. So she directed. She taught me how to follow directions early. You know, you're going to have a director. You're going to have a music director that you need to be in connection with to some extent. And so, like, to have her want that for me was huge. She had a piano in the house. She never told me to get off the piano. She always encouraged me to play more. Like, she would be walking. I remember even being in her house, and she would be sitting in the front. And she would hear me playing the song. I didn't know how to play much. I probably played the blues or something like really simple, a Kirk Franklin song or something like that. And she would just come back to me. She would walk back in the back and she would cheer me on. You go, boy, play that song. I hear you. And so, like, to have that's something that's really important. And that is really important for me now because I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. And so to have students believe in themselves, because a lot of times we don't even believe in ourselves as human beings. Like, I mean, it's hard for us sometimes to like muster up the strength to get all of our loins together, gather up everything, and let's go and do this. But for whatever reason, she saw it in me young, and she pushed me young, and it started from there. I started on drums, then I went from drums to piano, then from piano to trumpet, and then trumpet to a little guitar and organ here. And so it just opened up a pathway for me to just experiment. Once I was hooked on music, that was it. There was nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it for me. I'm sold. That's it.
Yeah. So you had a lot of different instruments that you were playing. What made you stick with the piano?
Honestly?
Yeah.
It paid the most.
Really?
I mean, if you're a keyboard player, if you're a pianist, 9 times out of 10, if you're a gig, if you're working at a gig or something like that, you know, you're probably going to get paid more than a drummer, or, you know, for instance, more than the person that's just standing up there singing lead. And so for me, it's, of course, it started in church, but I stuck with it even more because I started getting more work on it. I learned how to play key bass and then pad with my right hand, and then I was able to sing at the same time. And so once I learned and like started to hone in on that part of my playing, it just really started to be lucrative for me. And so I never really had any time to venture out and play on any other instruments, or I say I wasn't consistent enough to do that. I can't say I didn't have time, because we make time for what we want. But I wasn't consistent enough to go and pick up a whole lot of instruments and really dive into it like I did the piano and the drums and the trumpet, of course, because I was in school doing that. And so I don't know, piano just had another energy. And probably the real reason is my grandmother was a pianist as well. The money is good, don't get me wrong, but seeing her doing it, I think my mom played a little bit piano, my brother played piano, but that's really what made me stick with it, was that, you know, it's really a career being a musician. And once I found out that I could actually make a living being a professional musician, that was it for me. I was like, oh, I'm good, I'm straight. Sign me up. Who's the band? Who needs a keyboard player? They need a background singer. I can do that too.
It's like, I'm ready. Just put me somewhere, pay me, and I will do my thing.
That's exactly what it boiled down to. Like, you know, they call me. Do you sing? Yeah. Do you have your own equipment? Yeah, absolutely. Do you have speakers? Absolutely. What do you need? I'll be there. Call me. I'm on my way. Seriously, I would do it. So that's, you know, it's been a long journey. My musical journey it's been interesting, but piano has really stuck with me the most.
How would you describe the music that you create?
I would like to believe that my music is for the soul. I know music to be something that breaks language barriers, because, you know, like, we can relate to the emotional part of the music, and I think that's really important. I was actually telling my students this the other day, because a lot of times we don't really understand the connection that music has with our psychological mindset, and how we can alter it just from one chord to the next chord. Like, it takes you to a different place. And my thing is, I think I got lost in the question just now. I was answering a question, Ashley.
You were talking about teaching and how one chord from a next volume.
And I know the connection is, that the connection is extremely important, and for the way that we deliver it, our connection to the music must also be important. Like, you have to have some type of connection with the song that you're singing, with the chorus that you're singing, because musicians, artists, creatives, we are emotional beings. Like, we're super emotional, because we got that sensitive side. And so, you know, I try to create music so that people will feel something. You know, of course, I've been in my thoughts lately, and I've been wondering, why do artists create music? Like, why do we write music? You know, is it to, you know, make our audience happy? Is it to make us happy? Or are we writing it for a loved one? Or is it something that we're just kind of like expressing? And so I've kind of been in my head about that a lot lately. And so, like, that just kind of gives you an idea of where my mind is in regards to, you know, the music I'm creating. I've got a few songs that I'm working on, a stash of songs that I've worked on. They're completed, and they're just kind of like sitting off to the side, just because I'm not entirely sure if the connection is where I want it to be yet. And so, like, and timing is everything, I believe. The right time is very crucial to the release and stuff like that. But like I said, overall, I try to create music so that it reaches the soul. It reaches, you know, deeper than just the ears. We digest it here, but does it touch you here? You know what I'm saying? And I want it to be something that people can relate to. I want it to be relatable. That's my main goal. That's my main focus, and that's what my focus has been just writing what I feel and hoping people feel what I feel, you know. I think
Mhm.
that's what we all try to do, is try to get people to feel what we feel through our art.
Definitely. And I think lyrics are so powerful. Like when you hear a song and it resonates with you, you're like, oh my gosh, that helped me get through a time, or that reminds me of XYZ. And it
Absolutely.
back to a specific time. So I like that you hold on to your music, because I was actually watching a show the other night and they were talking about songwriting, and they were saying how, oh yeah, in the past year I've probably wrote like 40 different songs, but I'm holding on to them.
Yeah,
Because you might make 40 songs in 1 year, and they don't really,
you're
vibe,
right.
right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It happens all the time. And I mean, I think that's a patience thing. We know that patience is a virtue, and it's really difficult to develop patience. But
Right.
like you gotta, like I said, I try to be sensitive to that. If it's not the right time, if I feel like it's rushed, if I feel like it took too long, like it may have expired, it may not be right. It may just, it's got to wait a little bit longer. You got to evolve again. And sometimes that happens. I was
Yeah.
talking to a guy. He said he wrote a song 20 years ago and he just released it last year. I'm like, what?
Wow.
20 years? I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, but yeah, man, I released this song. I wrote it 20 years ago and I'm just now releasing it. And I was like, you never really know.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's where I am. That's
yeah, it
where
has
I
to
am.
speak to you, because you might say, oh, I wrote this song 5 years ago. And then all of a sudden you look back at it and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to add another line here. And then you're like, okay, now here we go.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Walk us through your creative process.
Oh man, it varies.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a concrete plan. Sometimes words come first. Sometimes a chorus comes first. Sometimes music comes first, and I'm in some way, shape, or form influenced by that music.
Yeah.
I like to say that I'm a musician first because I started, or an instrumentalist first. Um, but it's always different. I remember on one of my albums called the Neo Soul Symphony, that I released in 2016, was a 30-minute piece that we played. It was totally improvised.
Mm-hmm.
Totally improvised. We sat in this
Cool.
meeting room. We played for 30 minutes straight. And the engineer was like, okay, guys, you can pack up your stuff and leave. That's the album. And we looked around the band. We were looking around at each other like, what? What do you mean that's the album? It's like, no, that's the album. You have no clue what you just did.
Yeah.
However, come back. We're going to play it back. We're going to listen to it. I was like, okay, great. In that instance, that record, the music came first. Me and some buddies, we were in the studio. We were just honestly shedding, playing on some musical ideas, and music came from it. And then I put lyrics to it. And we were able to create a string of moments that it's just nonstop music. It goes from spoken word to hip hop to R&B to inspirational to like funk, eclectic type, James Brown, retro. I mean, it's really all over the place. And like I said, that's how that project itself happened. And I have another song out, If You. That chorus came first. I was sitting on my guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and the melody came. Wonder if you'll be better on the me. I wonder if and that melody came first as I was playing on guitar. Like when that happened, I was like, somebody else was listening. They was like, that's a good melody. And I wrote based on that. Of course, during that point in time, I was going through some heartbreak. I had some relational issues. And like I said, once I got to that point, it's whenever I get to that point and I feel like that song is really speaking to me to some extent, I embellish on it. And so, like I said, it really varies. My writing, my creative process, my production process, sometimes the beat comes first. Sometimes some chords come first. It varies. And, that's probably why my music is just kind of like over here, boom, boom, boom. It's all over the place.
Like, it's okay, because sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, we always do the lyrics first and then the music comes later. Like, it's good to just have that diversity, because when a lyric or a chord or you play something on your piano and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that. And then you repeat it months from now.
And that's how it happens sometimes. So I just embrace that process. Whatever it is, I embrace it. I love on it, while it's here. If it's here for 3 hours or if it's here for 20 seconds, I try to catch whatever I can, document it. And if I can work on it, embellish it, I do. If I need to come back to it, I need to take a step back, I'll do that. So, like I said, we stay in our heads. Creators, I can only speak for myself. Maybe I shouldn't speak for all the other creators. I stay in my head a lot. So.
No, I think that's common though when you're a creative.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
In February, you were on season 18 of NBC's hit show, The Voice. That's where most people know you from.
Yes.
What did you pick the James Brown song that you sung for your blind audition?
It was literally the words for me. I had sang that song a while. I had sang it for a while, and I don't know if it was it. I mean, it was a connection with the words that I had never had before, and it was something like, "This is the song." The words that James Brown was writing, what he spoke. This is a man's world.
Yeah.
This is a man's world. It wouldn't be, but even though it is a man's world, it would be nothing if there was not a woman or a girl. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people miss that part of the song because it is a man's world. We quote unquote men run the world. However, the woman's contribution to the man's world, it would not even exist if it wasn't for the woman. And so to have my mom there, to know that she was going to be the only one there, to know that she fought in the 80s, 1988, all the way up to now, just for me to be able to do what I love to do. She did everything that she could do to make a way. She was a single mother. And so raising 2 young boys in a family, in a house, in a small rural city, it registered something. It was just a different understanding, meaning of that song. And being on that stage, I tell people now, it was surreal. It was really a surreal moment. I felt like it happened so fast, but then again, it felt like a long time. And then at the same time, it was I didn't feel like I was even there for a second. It was
out of body experience.
Ashley, I don't know. It was crazy. I can't put it into organized thoughts sometimes. It's really difficult for me to put that whole experience into a set of organized thoughts. And so that song was just, it had a message, and I felt like it was a perfect message for my mom to be there. And for, it's just the 2 of us, it's a man's world, but mama, it would not be anything if it wasn't for you, baby. If it wasn't for that girl, so that was something for me. And she didn't know what I was thinking until she heard it on the stage, and that was funny too.
And then she came out on stage afterwards.
She did. That was the classic moment. Everybody still talks about that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, everybody still talks about that moment. She had one word, and her only word was John. That was it. Yes. And so I wouldn't have had it any other way though. I had to have her there. So yeah, that's the reason for the song. That's why Man's World was at the top of my list. That's what I wanted to, present, and I'm glad that I did. I'm really glad that I did.
Yes, and you wowed the judges. 4 judges. You got 4 chairs, and anybody the show, The Voice, 4 chairs is a big deal. That means every single judge turned around and wanted the team. What did that feel like?
Ooh. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was weird at first because I can only see them. You can't really hear what they're saying. And so I saw John and Nick, and they were talking to each other, and then you don't see the other judges on the other side. But for John and Nick to press their chair as fast as press their button as fast as they did, I was like, okay, okay, let's just calm down. And then Kelly turned around. And then I just knew that Blake would not turn. I honestly had to set up in my mind. I was like, Blake's probably not going to turn. I'm a soul singer. He's probably not going to turn. And at the last minute, he hit the button. And like when that happened, I just, like I said, it was an outer body experience to some extent. Like it was just like an amazing thing. There was so much energy in the room. It was really, 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 really loud. And I like loud. And for me to say that it was loud, it was loud. It was an amazing experience, once in a lifetime type experience that I don't take for granted. It just felt amazing just to be able to be there and to know that they were interested in what I was given. I was like, okay, I'm buying this. Let me go. So that was really cool.
And out of all four judges, you could have picked any of them, and you went with John. Yeah. What about John made you said, I gotta go with him? Other than your mom saying John.
That was fun. No, I mean, I knew that if I wanted to work with anyone, John Legend would be the one. I felt like he would, for lack of better words, I felt like he would feel me the most. I feel like he would understand me. He would understand me as an artist and what I'm trying to portray, and kind of help mold me in that sense. And just, like, unfortunately, we just didn't get an opportunity to spend our time with them for the live shows because COVID hit, and we had to do everything remotely from home. And so, unfortunately, we didn't get that full experience like all of the other seasons did get. However, I knew from the beginning John would be able to help me. Of course, he's an instrumentalist as well as a singer. So his ability to be able to help me translate that. We worked on a song, and I wanted to do that song. I was actually battling between the two. And we worked on a song, and he told me about the message of the song. And initially, I wasn't thinking about the message. It was just techniques. Okay, let me get the song out of my head. I want to do it well, blah, blah, blah. But then he was like, Mike, I love what you're doing. Everything's great. Pitch, everything is great. But think about what the artist was trying to say in this moment. And you need to portray that message. Even though the tempo is fast, it's not a happy song. This is a really sad song. So think about that and try to portray that. And even like in little instances like that, his knowledge, his professionalism, his ability to get his point across, he's very specific. He knows, like once he knows it. He knows it. And so my gut told me John Legend was the one. That's why I was Team Legend.
Amazing. What's something that surprised you about your time on The Voice?
Well, this is my third time trying out for The Voice. And I know that everybody is talented when they get to a certain point in the show. And just the amount of talent, also with the level of like humility.
Right.
Like, you don't always find that. Sometimes you find a lot of great musicians who are just, they've got the biggest egos. They are hard. They have horrible personalities. You can't talk to them. And just the fact to have people that are there for the same reason, like we are here to sing, to make music, to love on each other whenever we can. And that was probably the most, I guess that was something that I really took to heart, because it's just difficult to find people when you work in that industry that don't have that mindset. Thankfully, I don't have that many run-ins with people like that are just really like, they're just not good personalities. They're not good people. But everybody that I ran into on the show, all of them were good people. And I still keep in contact with a lot of them up like right now, even right now. And so that just lets you know that, like, we build lasting relationships. And long friendships. And it was an amazing time just to connect with those people that had the same mindset that I did. And so that's probably the most surprising thing for everybody to be so open-armed. Like, hey, come here, let me hug you. Come here, That's cool. Like, to have people give you that kind of energy.
Exactly. You're all in the same boat though. Like you kind of all have the same story, but you don't, right?
Yeah.
Like you're with country singers and pop singers and this, and that person has a different coach than you, but you're kind of all in it together. So it's kind of like,
absolutely.
What was your experience like? And
absolutely.
Oh, well, my coach said this, this, this. And then they're like, well, my coach said this.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And so even though, like you said, we were on different teams, we were all cool. Like we were
Yeah.
friends with people from Kelly's team, Blake's team, and Nick's team. I mean, it was just like I said, we were just one big family.
Mm-hmm.
40 of us just loving on each other. So it was great. It was great.
That's amazing. Now, did I hear that you're going to do a collaboration with some of your voice castmates?
Yes, I am.
Can you
Absolutely.
tell me that?
Yeah, I'm actually working on releasing a single. The name of the song is Everybody's Looking for Love. This song is written by a guy named Alan Levi and myself. And I sang this song years ago. And I called up a few of my friends. I called up Brittany Allen, who is from Phoenix City. She was top 40. She was also team legend. Tanisha Harris, who was runner-up, and Todd Tillman. Todd Tillman he was first place. He was the winner of the show.
Yeah.
And we're all going to gang up on this song. And I just, even listening to it now, because we've been working on the instrumentation because it's so much going on. Even listening to it now, like I was just like, this would be perfect. And the message of it is even more important than everything, which is why the variety, like the people that have been included in this, is just, I mean, it's when I believe, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I believe like it's really the perfect setup.
Yeah.
Just to have all those amazing people on there. And so Everybody's Looking for Love. That's the name of the song. It'll be dropping soon. It'll be released very, 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 very soon. You just have to keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open, peeled, whatever you do. Eyes peeled, ears open, whatever. And be on the lookout for that song. I'm really excited about it. And it's one of my favorite. And more than anything, I love the message. Because it's a true statement. I believe that everybody is essentially looking for love. We're really looking for love. And the message is, we know where our love really lies. And I think it's important that we all get back to that place. And this song really breaks it down for us. And it really talks about a lot of different situations that's going on. And so I think it's going to speak to the heart of the people.
Yes, amazing. So guys, if you don't already, please stay tuned to Mike and his upcoming single with his voice contestants.
Yes.
Coming soon. And it's all about love. And we need love so much right now.
Now, we need it.
You got to share it with everybody.
Yes.
You've toured extensively all over the U.S. and on a cruise ship. So
yes.
Talk to us about being a performer on a cruise ship.
It was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
It was my first time being on a ship, first of all. So I had to gain my sea legs, learn 120 songs, and be able to stay well on the boat. So you got all these different things, like COVID was not as big as it was then as it is now.
Right.
But of course on the ships, like, everything is contained. It's like a big floating container and you got all these people walking around. But we worked 6 days a week. I'm sorry. We played 6 nights a week. We were off one night for half of the contract. And then for the other half of the contract, we played 5 nights a week. And then we were off 2. We toured through Alaska. We ported in Vancouver, Canada every week. And we went through Ketchikan, Skagway, and Juneau, Alaska. And so we made that and we came back around. And so we went through Glacier Bay. We went through Astoria, Oregon. We went to, San Diego, San Francisco. And we hit one place in the BC before we came back, in the British Columbia. But it was an amazing experience just to be able to be out there doing what you love to do, right, and to see people out there dancing and enjoying themselves to your music, and it was pretty cool. I was on the boat with some amazing musicians. All of them are amazing musicians. I mean, from left to right, I didn't have anything bad to say about any of them. I was fortunate because this was a shorter contract. It was only 6 weeks. we went to Memphis. We go to this holding city and we rehearse for 2 weeks, which is where I learned those. We learn a staple 70 songs before you get on the ship. And then you have 2 or 3 or 4 songs that you're rehearsing for rehearsal every week. So by the time we got finished, we were up to like 120 songs. And so all of these songs memorized. There's no lyrics on a stand. There's no lyrics on an iPad. He'll let you have a handicap like the first week, but after that, you got it off book.
Wait, can you use music, or can you use your own music, or no?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Wow.
All that was off the dome. Everybody was playing off of the top of their head because they wanted it to be a memorized show. And so thankfully, all of the musicians were talented enough. They were all vets in the game. I was a freshman. I came in as a rookie, and they were all skeptical of me coming in. They were like, I ain't never met this guy, Mike. And if you know about the B.B. King's All-Stars, like they are just a big organization of musicians. Yeah. And they had never heard of me. They never seen me. I had never seen them. And so it was like a blind date almost. Like I'm walking in, y'all never seen me. I've never seen y'all. I hope y'all play well. Y'all hoping that I sing well. Let's just hope this matches up well. Hope we just make this happen. And that's honestly what ended up happening, and a great contract. I was so excited to get ready to go back on my next one. I hadn't even gotten a call to go to Asia in March of 2020. And I was right at the beginning of everything when it just exploded. Wow. They called me. They was like, oh, no, listen to the ships. And then they had ships out there floating on the water away from family for like days. I don't know if people remember seeing that in the news, but there were days where ships were just out on the water and they couldn't dock because they wouldn't let anybody in. So
exactly.
I felt bad for those people. But thankfully, my contract went well. I didn't fall on stage. Whoop, whoop. I was able to make some friends, make some really great connections, and have an opportunity to perform while traveling up and down the Pacific Ocean. I mean, hey,
and great. Now we're all in COVID.
Right, we're quarantined.
It's crazy. So what is it like for you as a touring musician, someone who's used to just like gigging 6-7 nights a week, to now being confined to your house? What is that like for you?
Oh, it's horrible. Like the gig scene, the work scene. I played with a few different bands, and nobody was booking at the beginning of the pandemic. No one was booking. And we had festivals lined up. I played with a band called Parliament Funkadelic Connection, P-Funk Connection, and we cover all of the P-Funk songs. Everything George Clinton wrote, we pretty much covered. We had festivals lined up, tours lined up. We couldn't do them. DSOS shows, we couldn't do them. My own personal band, we played plenty of parties. Aflac Christmas party that I just did, that was virtual. We usually played for that corporation, and they're big party. We couldn't do it. Everything was just shut down, and it got really, really, really hard. Yeah. Because that's sometimes a way for us to release and just kind of like, go out and blow off some steam sometimes. And now we don't have that camaraderie or that opportunity to play with our friends, our brothers, our sisters, and sing with them on stage and stuff like that. So it was difficult. Withdrawals, I had bad withdrawals. Not being able to hug people, that was weird. And it's still weird. Yeah. Like not being able to, dap your people up, give them a real big hug, talk to them. It was just weird. And so I think everything kind of really suffered when all this took place, when all this happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like of yourself as a musician, and you're like, oh, I look out and people are singing along with me and they're dancing, and they come up to me after the show and they said, oh, I did such a good job. And now it's kind of like we're in our houses, and it's like you do a live stream or something, and you're just like, okay, well, no one can really come in and I can't really go anywhere. So how does it's an energy thing. It's environment.
Yeah, it really is. And, like performers, we feed off energy from the crowd. Like of course. When they're shouting at you, when they're singing along with you, when they're up dancing and they're singing your song with you, like that's something that we enjoy. And like you said, we just don't have that connection anymore. They can't come up to the stage and we can't have a conversation and connect with your audience. It's a crazy time. It's crazy times. It's
crazy. Hopefully good things are around the corner.
Yes.
Corner and
I hope so,
good things in 2021.
Absolutely.
So, Mike, tell everybody who's watching where they can find you, where they can stream your music. Plug all your social media channels right now.
Okay, so you can follow me on all social media outlets at Mike Jerel. That is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay. If you are a TikTok person, look me up as Mike Jerel Official. Mike Jerel Official. Find me on TikTok. Follow me there. You can find all my music wherever you stream music. Okay, wherever you stream your music, you can find it there. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, okay, Amazon Music, CD Baby, wherever you purchase your music from, wherever you stream it from, you can find it there. Just type in Mike Jerel, Mikejerel.
Amazing. So, Mike, this is the part of the show where you are going to perform for us. So take it away.
Yes. The first song I'm going to sing for you is Everybody's Looking for Love. It is an original song. It's the single that I'm going to drop and I'm going to release with my fellow friends from The Voice. I hope you enjoy it. It's a song about love, and just listen to the words, and I hope this speaks to you. Everybody high and low, everyone you'll ever know, everybody's looking for love. We have the same desires, it's just the way we're wired. Everybody's looking for love. Deep down in every soul, there's a hunger we all know. Everybody's looking for love. We search 100 places behind the smiling faces. Everybody's looking for love, love, love. Everybody's looking. Everybody's looking. Everybody's looking for love. Counterfeits and substitute make it hard to find the truth. Everybody's looking for love. Yeah, even when our hearts are broken, somehow we go on hoping. Everybody's looking for love. Yes, there is just no way around it. We can't rest until we found it. Everybody is all looking for love. I thought I knew what love was until it found its way to me. True love is a sacrifice. Love will try to hang away. Oh, everybody is looking. Everybody is looking. Everybody's looking for a single mom who's waiting tables, picking every word she's able. Runaway who's turning tricks, a junkie trying to find a fix. People straight, people gay, a preacher and a castaway. Power hungry politicians, a terrorist out on the mission. Little kids in tennis shoes, a big shot and the evening news. Billionaires and movie stars, anywhere that people are. Aliens and immigrants, even U.S. presidents. Oh, yeah. Oh, someone looking for love. Oh, we're all looking for love. Everybody's looking for love.
Yay! That was awesome, Mike. Such a beautiful song.
Thank you so much. That'll be out on digital platforms everywhere you stream very, 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 very soon.
Yes, guys. So stay tuned.
Yes. Donya, what's up, girl? Thank y'all so much. Y'all are showing so much love. I love this energy. Yeah. Thank you, Colette. So today is a big day for Georgia. Yesterday was a big day for Georgia.
Georgia!
This time is huge for Georgia right now. It's crazy. I had an opportunity to perform with John Ossoff and during his campaign, and I had an opportunity to sing a rendition of a song. And actually, I really want to sing both of them because both of the messages are great. They're amazing right now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, for
lack
of better words.
Your show. This is your show, Mike. This is your show. Do whatever you want.
So I like to sing this song. This is a song that me and John, we were talking about while I was on the show. And I had an opportunity to work on this arrangement. This is a teaser, and so I'm actually going to be releasing this song as a cover in the very near future as well. So you guys get a little sneak peek at some things that I've been working on for here. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. You see, brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. Oh, you know, we've got to find our way to get some love in here today. Ooh. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, cause war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we got to find a way to get some understanding here today. Cause picking lines and picking signs who don't punish me for brutality. Come on, talk to me, so you will see. Tell me what's going on. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. What's going on? Oh, mercy, mercy me. Yeah, things ain't what they used to be. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison in the wind that blows from north and south to east. Oh, ooh, mercy, mercy me. Yeah, things ain't what they used to be. Oil's wasted on the ocean floors. Poison in the fish and mercury. And picking lines and picking signs. Don't punish me for brutality. Come on, talk to me, so you will see. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
Beautiful.
Thank you. I got a little caught up there, and
No, it's okay.
That was heavy.
No, I mean, I was listening to it and I was in the moment, and with everything that's happened today and the good in the morning and the horrible in DC, it's like there's a way that you feel and you're like, these songs have a different meaning.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. It's so important for us to listen to the words of the song, even when the music that we're listening to and we're digesting now. Like, I just try to make sure that everything that's going on, I want to digest that music. I want to be able to connect to it emotionally. And when I started working on that song, I was like, wow. If you listen to the record, the tempo will fool you, but if you really dissect the words and you start to think about it, it's really amazing that the things that they were writing, that he was writing about then,
of course,
we still need it today. So.
We need it every day, and we definitely need to lead with love and feel love and give love to one another, because we all need it right now. Like global pandemic, like craziness with the transfer of power, like we need it more than ever.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So guys, if you have any questions for Mike, please feel free to put them in the chat below. Mike,
yes, put them in the chat.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Literally, don't give up. You got to keep trying. At things that you want to succeed in, at things that you want to be successful in. You just got to keep going. And as long as we put the action behind what we're believing in, one of my favorite quotes is by Susan L. Taylor. She says, whatever we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is that we believe that we can do, it becomes true for you. It becomes true for ourselves. Like, we can do it. You just have to believe that you can do it.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. If you don't give up, if you keep working hard, you're believing in yourself, you're not giving up on yourself, you're doing it. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's probably the best thing. Go with what you know. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Even like day to day, right? Like, you have a dream, go for it. Don't give up. Like, things might get difficult, but like, you keep on pushing.
Absolutely. Got to keep going.
Definitely. What advice would you give to other musicians in quarantine right now?
Other musicians in quarantine, honestly, find different streams of income. It's important that we have something as musicians set up, mm-hmm. that we can continue to make some residual income. Have something set up for yourself. I know there are different ways to do that, but I think that's important. In this moment in time right now, we're so used to seeing money come in the musician touring, performing, gigging world, that now that we don't have it anymore. And so now we have to go to alternate resources. And that's what I would say. Have some residual, have something set up, and still don't keep working though. I'm still keep working. I want you to keep working. All musicians, keep working. If you're writing music, do that. If your residual income does not require you to be away from your studio and from your creative space, mm-hmm. kudos to you. I'm jealous. Okay. But yes, do that. Hone in on that and spend this time to hone in on your craft. Practice, learn songs, pick up something new. I'll be doing that. And so, that's the advice that I would give.
Uh-huh. What other instruments do you enjoy playing?
I enjoy playing drums the most.
Yeah.
Because I play it the least. Because I started out on drums. It was really like my first musical love. And once I set out on drums, I was sold. I wanted to be a drummer. And you can tell me anything. That was in marching band. That was in middle school band. Drums was my thing. Put me on drums, I'm good. That's the one that I enjoy playing the most, just because it's so fun. They're so loud. And they're usually what draws the most attention.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you played the drums?
Oh, it's been years. Actually, in a professional setting, it really has been years. It's probably been 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. But I practice whenever I can. I am on the way to invest into me a practice drum kit, so mm-hmm. that I can pick the sticks back up. Because, like, once you don't play for a while, your muscles will cramp up on you. You'll get tight. Hands will start getting weak. And so it's about that time for me. I've spent long enough
Mhm.
not honing in on that. And so, yeah, that's definitely on my list of things to do.
I've always thought drumming is so cool because, like, when I think of bands and I think of the drummer, I'm like, they're having so much fun back there.
Yeah,
So
it's
much.
probably. I'm
And then,
sorry. I
like,
didn't even.
they're like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And they're like hitting different things. I'm like, it's so amazing to watch.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And I hate it for I much love for all my fellow drummers out there because I know your pain because they probably have the worst load in and load out of
Yeah.
everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to load in drums, but like you said, they are probably the most entertaining to watch, the most entertaining to play. I love it. I love drums.
Where are you performing next?
I will be performing at a private event next. That's my next calendar. That's next on my calendar. That's in February, and I don't think I've had a Donny Hathaway tribute concert lined up for so long, but they prolonged that to 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like nobody's really booking. I have some great musical opportunities on the table. I don't want to get into too much detail on the extent of it. However, afforded an opportunity to sing with a very prominent band in the Bay Area, but COVID has stopped us from that too. So you're just gonna have to be on the lookout. Whenever there's a show, it's probably gonna be a pop-up show.
Yep.
It's not going to be anything where we'll be like, you know. I take that back. I just told a story. I remember we do have a show January the 23rd in Columbus. I'll be in Columbus with one of my bands, January 23rd at a place called Wild Wing Cafe. So that'll be a lot of fun, actually. So if you're in the area, if you're in the Columbus area, wear your mask. We're gonna be socially distant, all right? But that's where I'll be next. That's open to the public, January 23rd.
January 23rd. What's the name of the venue again?
Wild Wing Cafe. Wild Wing Cafe.
Columbus, Georgia. Anywhere in Georgia, because nothing's going on right now. If you're in Georgia or in the neighboring states, drive. Go see Mike.
Come holler at me, people. I want to see you.
Mike wants that energy.
Yes.
What's your next song going to be about?
It's going to be about the state of Georgia. I could not leave without. I will come to New York. I was actually in New York last year, 2 years ago.
Cool.
In Syracuse, but
cool. That's where I'm from.
Really?
Yes.
You told me that. I knew that already, Ashley. I knew that.
You did? Wait, where were you in Syracuse? What were you doing?
It was a private event. Someone heard us here in Albany, Georgia, and they were like, we're having a party in New York. We want you guys to come. And they flew me and the band up. They backlined everything for us, put us a nice hotel. And we had to leave the next morning because we had Sunday obligations. But it was really nice. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. What song do you wish you wrote and why?
Ooh. I'm probably going to say a Stevie Wonder song. Or a Prince song. Or a Michael Jackson song. I could keep going all day with that. It's probably going to be a Stevie Wonder tune. Maybe maybe Lately. Stevie Wonder Lately. That's a good love song, and it's been covered by a lot of people. I mean, that's a difficult question to ask me. I never thought about that.
And that's such a hard answer. When you think of like Stevie and Prince and MJ, like I was just talking about MJ's Thriller the other day, and I was trying to think of what my favorite song off that album was. I'm like, wait, no, they're all good. They're really all good in their own different way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. And then I was thinking of his other albums, and I was like, oh my gosh, if someone asked me that question, I would just say, okay, maybe this song from that album and this song from that album, but like to pick one out of such a,
because even as you're talking, like I'm just thinking of more songs that I wish I wrote. I wish that was mine. Yeah, that's a heap of them. There's so many.
So how can people that are in this chat right now, how can we support you? Can we buy your merch? Can we donate to your Venmo, like live stream? Like, what does that look like for you as an artist?
You can support me via listening to my music, downloading the music. You can buy it, put money into it. We artists appreciate that because music does not have the same weight as it does 40 years ago.
Yeah.
When they were creating music, that had a whole, music was a different meaning back then, but download the music. If you would like to donate and send some money, send some donation, I will put my cash, my Venmo information right here. Ashley told me to be prepared. I am being the bad student, and if I was my student, I would be upset with me.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
Okay, so you can Venmo me at Mike Jerel Entertainment. Mike Jerel Entertainment. Should I type that in there?
If you want, Mike Jerel Entertainment, Cash App, Venmo, all that good stuff. Guys,
Yes.
Please donate to Mike. Mike is an incredible musician, and you know, I mean, any live streams coming up?
I've been thinking. I've been pondering.
Yeah.
The most recent one I did was a census concert, and you know, being a teacher now and transitioning after the show from the boat, it's just been really weird for me to get in my space. But I can't say that live streaming is not on my agenda. Okay, so I'm probably going to do something. I thought about having me and my band. We'll set up in a venue where we're separated, and I know a lot of the world has not seen my band and all these incredible players that I get a chance to play with and perform with. And so I don't know. We're going to set up something nice. And if I do it though, I'm a perfectionist, so it's got to be audio's got to be right, visuals got to be right, everything's got to be right. So we're going to work on that. Ashley.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Or Mike, you could literally just do a live stream once a week at like Thursday at 9 p.m. And every Thursday at 9 p.m.
You're true. That's right. You're true. You're telling the truth. You're telling the truth.
You could totally do that. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to, give you a good idea.
I love the way that you think, Ashley. I do. I'm going to work on that. And you know what? And I might set up something because I used to play every Thursday night at 9. And it's crazy that you said Thursday night at 9. Yeah. I played every Thursday night at 9. I used to play every Sunday night. Yeah, it was a house gig recurring. Every Thursday night at 9, I was jumping on stage singing 2 hours. Wow. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something special just because you asked that.
Yay! Well, I'm going to do something. Definitely promote it. And
yes.
If you don't already, please make sure to follow Mike online and stay tuned what's coming up. He has a lot of great music around the corner. Mike, any final words from you?
Thank you for having me, Ashley. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been great. It's been a journey, and I just hope the best for everyone that's watching. I'm wishing the best for everyone going forward. Everyone stay well, stay healthy, and I appreciate the love that y'all are giving me. Support. I will appreciate that. Listen to my music, go download it, share it on your story, tag me in and Spotify, follow me, whatever y'all do on that. Download the songs, buy the songs. I just want you to listen to it, okay? YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube. I forgot to talk about YouTube. Mike Jerel, subscribe to my YouTube. I'm working on a few songs to put together and get on there, but you'll see my original music, some of my covers that I did on there as well. So follow me on YouTube and just keep being y'all. Y'all are amazing. And I'm going to keep doing me.
Yes, Mike, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you coming on my show. You're a legendary performer. I'm so happy I was able to have the opportunity to interview you. And guys, if you're ready, follow Mike, follow me. I do this show all the time, Vibin with Ashley Live. I bring amazing musicians to the table. We have good conversations. We have good music. And thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you. Be safe. Happy New Year. Wear a mask. Lead with love. And anything else that I'm forgetting?
That's it. Georgia's blue, baby.
Georgia!
I got a blue shirt on because we blue. Georgia. I'm happy. I'm excited. So, hey.
Mike, thanks so much for spending your evening with us, and we will see you soon.
Thank you for having me. See you soon.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.